Hi YouTube, I hope you're doing good. I'm doing okay today, not too bad. I had a wonderful barbecued meal I made last night. I had ended up taking a round roast and I butterflied it and put some striations in it. Just 'cause it was partly frozen and I wanted to cook it a little quicker. And so I had that on a grill pan, and then I took tin foil and I put 4 pieces of candy corn on the cob, and some little red baby new potatoes in there. The corn was so good. Potatoes and corn, I am not supposed to have it, um, but I just had well, a couple of potatoes were about like that. I had 4 potatoes and a piece of corn, and then some meat and some bread. So not a great big meal. Oh, and then I had just about 3 scoops of Neapolitan ice cream. So, but I do feel pretty good today. I didn't suffer too bad because the amount of vegetables that I'm not supposed to have. I can have certain veggies in my life, but that's, like lettuce is pretty safe for me, but um yeah, anyway. Potatoes is on my list of allergies, but anyway, all that aside, it was a wonderful meal. And Doug wasn't feeling too good. I don't know if it's because of new medicine that he's gotten or what it was, but he was kind of under the weather yesterday and today, and he really didn't want to eat anything. But I went in there and I took a piece of that grilled meat and I had put some salt on it and went and give it to him, and I was going to take it away, and then he wanted the rest of the bite, so 'cause it was sliced really thin, all he had to do was just like kind of pull it off. It was um pretty easy to eat. So then when he got out there and I gave him a bite of my potatoes, then he really freaked out. He's like, "Okay, this is good." It got him to eating something, which he did need to eat something healthy because of what these pills are doing to him. So I don't know. It's part of a detox thing that his doctors got him on. So we'll see. And that was recommended by another doctor, partially what she could do for him, not the whole regime. So I don't know. We'll just see how that goes. But I got a topic for you today. Just a minute. Excuse me. Cheers, everybody. One more sip. I gotta. So I got in from barbecuing and I saw that there was a Lionel Nation live stream. So I thought, well, I don't know whether he likes me or not. Doesn't matter. There's about 1,000 people on there. Nobody's ever said hi over there. It's just the strangest thing. I can go on live streams and some of you have seen me around and people say hi or good to you or whatever, but not one time in almost 7 years over there. It is like the most, I don't know. I can't say that it's like, I can't prove it's witchcraft, but it's the damnedest thing I've ever seen. And I just recently started attacking his character when he started calling men women. Yeah, then I had something to say about it, and I guess he doesn't like me anymore. But the weirdest thing about it is, so he sees me get on there, and you can see too by what he talks about in his videos. This is not me just pretending, and Doug noticed this a long time ago. There's certain people, and he's one of them, that will take what I'm talking about because I have a huge imagination, and so they'll take what I've imagined and my words and rearrange it and make it their own. Now, I don't mind so bad that, like people were out here and we're playing off of each other like, oh, well, I got this, that'll kind of go with that, but this little midget devalues me, and in his sadistic way, by ignoring me, exposes his narcissism that's within himself. So he starts talking about, and you can go and see my responses. He starts talking about the way I'm dressed and the weird things I do. Yes, I do. I do things like I'll hold this up or I'll show you my sock or whatever. I'm being funny, and that, and some people in an odd way understand my sense of humor. And yes, I am just being my funny self. So, anyways, talking about getting a colonoscopy yesterday. I'll tell you about that. So he's going on and on how he had to have this shoved in him and what he couldn't eat, and oh, the poor thing. So I said to him, and I wasn't even going to type anything. After I said hi, nobody said nothing. I thought, okay, I'm cool. I'll just listen. But he starts talking about this, so, and how horrible it was. So I said to them, um, there's a test that you can get to take a stool sample at home that tests for cancer in your colon without you being physically invaded like that. Told him that like 2 times, and then finally I said, just ask your doctor. My husband Doug had this done, and it's simple, and they send you a kit and you do it at home and you don't have to go through all this, and it does the same thing. It's new technology. Would not listen to me. And I started thinking, well, okay, this is horrible. I've been trained medically in my life and nobody's listening to me. So I'm like, hello, I've been a nurse. Is anybody home? Are you listening to me? And I told them one more time. I wrote, you can buy a kit or have the doctor issue this kit. They send it right to your house and you send it right back. And it's as simple as that, and it tests for the same thing. So I've come to the conclusion that he would rather stick something up his bum than take sound medical advice from somebody that knows better. And I do know better. So Doug asked his doctor when he went in there, his doctor had asked him some years back, have you had this done and how safe is it? Doug's asking. And with the endoscopy that they use, the doctor says it's thoroughly sterilized, and you could eat off it. Well, Doug says to him, because it's used in other people first, and so Doug says to him, you first. And isn't there another way we can do this? Well, his doctor was a good enough doctor that he called the Center of Disease Control and found out that there's this new technology within a kit that will do the same thing without being invaded. And if you disrupt polyps that are in your colon that aren't cancerous, they can become cancerous. So, with the love in my heart, I was trying to talk to this Quark and his molecules that follow him. It's like I just don't get it. Get it. Not big enough to be an atom or a molecule, but a quark. Yeah. Tiny boo-boo Lionel. Yeah. So anyway, I didn't appreciate all the insults, and yeah, I'm done over there. But I did get some headway with making or supplying information to other people on Jordan Peterson, and now over on Facebook. There's whole communities talking about this so-called doctor recommending porn within your marriage. So yeah, I helped kind of silence that bullshit. I'm going to silence the bullshit too that you have to stick something in your rectum in order to be analyzed for colon cancer. So, yeah. And that was the disease that spurred me on to take nursing in to the beginning. At 17, at 15, my adoptive mother got colon cancer, had a complete hysterectomy and colonoscopy, um, and has to still to this day irrigate herself and wear a bag. And I would take care of her and help her do all that. And after that, I really started wondering what cancer was, why it began in us, and how can I help take care of people with this and maybe even think of a cure someday. So then that brings me to something that I saw last night that was disturbing. Um, was Israel News Live was talking about this doctor that about 6 years ago she had made a video, and I don't know her name, but I have two articles over on morgellons.org with my research with my microscope that I did 11 years ago, going on 12 years ago, about the benefits of bicarbonate soda, um, typical baking soda, and how that helps eliminate cancer cells out of us and helps us to detox and all those good things. And so I wrote these articles that these other doctors had viewed my information, took my information, gave me no credit whatsoever, and claimed it for their own. I've had that happen in several different areas in science, and I'm not too pleased about it. So, and you wouldn't be either. Don't tell me that you would purchase a microscope and study a science, a microbiology, find something, get a finding that will help other people, produce that finding for the world, and get no credit for it, that you'd be happy. So yeah, that's how I'm feeling with these people. So, and you can hear what I talk about, and then you can hear what Lionel's talking about the next day or shortly thereafter, and you can see exactly whose imagination played a role in that stuff. So yeah, he can put my clothes down. What? These are my scrubs. They're nursing scrubs. What? That's like trashy. Hello? Whatever. Yeah. So yeah, I'm not too happy with them, and no, I'm not going to waste my time again. I would unsub if I didn't want to torture him some more, but I'm just going to keep seeing what stupid shit he's going to put out there, because now I know for a fact that he is a sadist. Anybody that would ignore somebody and make excuses, I mean, he knows I'm a moral human being, and try to devalue me. So, like, what? They wear suits and I don't. So you can be sluts with suits on and you're going to try and demean me? Okay, I see how that works. Well, guess what? I'd rather talk to a dirty bum on the street with a brain and a mind and a spiritual sense of goodness than a trashy fucking Quark that lives in a filthy city pretending that he's king nothing. So there you go. And I really thought I was done on Lionel's case because he was talking about some other things that are important to me, and bringing that to people's attention. But yeah, he's a fucking failure. So then I saw Jordan Peterson had some kind of 7-minute short video. I'm not watching his shit at all, because these monsters are just trying to bait me into okay, like mind control type of shit. That doesn't work with me. So I'm not even going to watch it. That's a good way not to be controlled anyway. But yeah, I had just come in from barbecuing. I was hot. I had bug bites on me, and I had started a bonfire. I was sitting out there, so I mean, it was, and talking to them kitties outside. So I mean, I had a pretty good afternoon doing that, but I was a little tired and I was hot and smoky, and I thought, well, before I take my shower, I'll just sit and rest and have a cup of coffee and see who's saying what on there. And when I heard them talking about getting endoed, it's like, but this is unnecessary. Why not even listen to me? Why are you telling people that they need to be invaded in their bodies when they don't, and it could cause more harm by doing it, you know? And that's why I'm saying something about it today, because it just isn't necessary. Talk to your doctors. What I'm telling you is the absolute truth. The kits can come straight from the Center of Disease Control. You do not have to have a rectal exam like that. So just a word to the very wise that are listening to me. You don't have to be invaded by that. And if they deny you that, insist, because it's a real thing and it's your body. So, unless you're into that kind of thing, then whatever. Nothing I can say about that. But so anyway. So yeah, I'm into spiritual self-defense for other people too. So um that's why I'm talking about it. Otherwise, I really wouldn't waste my time on these little creatures, you know? I'm serious. You just got to know my personality. Like I don't do that. You know, that's not my forte. I don't chase after trash, but I will expose it. So. But if you have God in your heart and I see you have potential and stuff, yeah, I'll keep bugging you. I will. Especially if I know you really are a good person like that. I'm not going to be quiet because you probably are feeling the same way about a lot of stuff. And raise your hand if you'd rather give a stool sample to your doctor than have, like, what is it, 8 feet of hose shoved up your butt, you know? So, anyway, with a camera in there. Oh, how special. Yeah, and I'm bad. Wow. I wear t-shirts and show you my socks, so, and I show you like different self-defense moves or balancing or whatever it is. Oh yeah, I'm so bad. I might even give you a recipe for something one of these days, like I have with detoxes and different things. But yeah, I'm a little sick of people ear souping my information and pretending that they don't, because I just don't say something one day and then hear it on a video of somebody I consider a foe. Yeah, phony, taking my information just like that doctor, and pretending that she was the first one to discuss bicarbonate soda in defense of cancer cells and worms, that type of thing. I'm morgellons.org is where I have my ratings, and they're there, they're documented. I probably could sue her because that's my studies, that's my, um, what would the word be? Uh, Observations of diseases that can be handled with bicarbonate soda, you know. There is something else I was going to say there. I'm trying, well, and I just told Doug I'm not going to worry about what I say, but I'm just going to get on there and let the spirit guide me. And he said, that's the best way. He's like, without swearing. And just as I'm saying, but then maybe Lionel likes things shoved up his ass. And so um, he said, yeah, no, there's a good statement. He says, that's a possibility. I said, yeah, it absolutely is, isn't it? He said, what got me is his bow tie. Back in the days, Doug was telling me, and I knew this, but I'll tell you, the bow ties were called jazz bows for jazzy musicians. And Doug's like, and he's like, that's always been a little gay to me anyway. I said, I couldn't agree more. I said, I haven't seen him been wearing his bow tie lately, and I kind of liked it anyway. I thought it was kind of clown-like, but I'm just kind of being facetious here at this moment. A little mean. So, yeah, I don't like sadistic narcissists ignoring me and taking my information, you know. Okay, ignore me, fine, but don't use my words. He's got a video. I've got a video over 6 years ago because my last name relates with mountain and hill. And I said, pick the hill you want to die on. In other words, like when you confront me, a part of you's going to die. And I was talking to people like him. And then all of a sudden he started saying it and other people. And, that doesn't bother me, but he pretends he doesn't like me or he hates me, one of the two, but will take my information. And what I really kind of think is I think that he's a tit baby. He reminds me of somebody, and don't take any offense, anybody, if you lived in a poor situation in your life, but he reminds me of a little boy that had about 12 siblings in a one-room house and never got enough attention from mommy, and he's taking it out on somebody else that actually is a good mother and trying hard out on this out on this family to talk to everybody. Yeah, and that's exactly how I feel about it. I feel like he's taking his frustrations of his lack of attention that he got from his mother or his wife, I don't know, but like he's taking it out on me. And I really feel like that too. I don't care who says what. It's my feelings. It's the vibe I got. And if you go over on that live stream last night, and you'll see what I wrote, trying in all good faith, trying to reach people with important health information and being ignored. That's about as stupid as you get, right there. Talk about witchcraft. Absolutely. Oh, yeah. So he's one of them too. Relax, buddy. I'll fold your clothes with you in them. Yeah, I will. Just get close enough. We'll see. What a creature. And, I couldn't express enough how much I do not want to be like anybody else. I don't want to talk like you, look, think, act, nothing. I have one example in my life, and that's the Christ Spirit, and I do not want to be like anybody else. And yes, Christ swore too, but people don't believe that. But you'd be surprised, wouldn't you? Because people that don't restrain themselves from being real and they're authentic like that, you can't copy that. You just can't. Because I wasn't made to be a copy. None of us were. So why would I want to pattern myself after another human being that's in existence at this time? I wouldn't. Not a thing. Not a damn thing. Oh, and I had said there's no amount of money that could buy my place. Yeah, there is. There is. Because I've actually offered to sell it before. I'm just saying that there's people that think they have so much money that they could buy anything they want with that money, and that just isn't so. It's like, for instance, Doug built a hot rod. You'll never buy it from him. It's not for sale. There's no amount of money that will make him sell you that vehicle. It's a one of a kind thing that he built. There's not another one in existence. You know, those are some precious things when you have one of a kind things, you know, that you built with your own hands. Just like my research in biology, that's my research. I just might get an attorney and start just like gathering up all the phony bastards that stole it, and I can prove that they did. I'm sick of them, you know. People say, well, they give credit where credit's due. No, you don't, scum bucket. It's like the first woman or who invented the light bulb was a woman, but who got credit for that was not her. It is now. She's getting more recognized, and I don't recall her name, but yeah, that's true. Or like a really cool actress back in the 30s and 40s and 50s, Hedy Lamarr. She was a master mathematician, uh, um, particle physicist, but she was known for her beauty, not her mind, you know. That's what made her famous, not things that she actually invented or other things that she did. So people are trying to make me known for what? Being less than they are. Right, whatever. That's all they have. Gee, the way you dress, or you do too many weird things. Oh, do I? You have no clue. Just spend one day around here. I'll show you weird. Very weird. Thank you, Lord. I'm not like everybody else, a cookie cutter person. Yeah. Really, how would you feel if I have a doctor that watches me, and I'm sure you've had your own internal researches in your life that you're involved in. What if you made a breakthrough and you could duplicate that and prove that to the world, and it was yours? Um, you wouldn't feel too happy about it, would you? Well, I don't. I'm not happy about it, you know. And I put that information out there to help people. I didn't put it out there so doctors could write a book and make a name on it 6 years later, you know. Really, if you invented something or found a finding in science, you'd be livid. You'd be beside yourself. Yeah. So I was stupid. I didn't patent it, but did I? It's there. And I can prove it's there by the date on my work. Yeah. So just know when you run across that information, that was mine. So, and I'm not saying that it hasn't been studied before, because it was studied in the 40s and in the 60s, and they had some, like with malaria and different diseases, they had some not cures, but help with some of the conditions that it has. Like when you have a worm in your body, which all of us do, by the way, they create a methane within you. That's a gas, that's the toxins they actually shed and fornicate. And all this action actually makes it's the feces that they have um, that they distribute in our bodies that is toxin, and that's more dangerous to our bodies than sometimes some of the bacterium or whatever themselves. So anyway, so now Lionel's got a new nickname. His name is Quark. If any of you are Star Trek fans, that was from I think not the Final Frontier. It was not even the second one. They were on a um, space station. It was, no, I don't know. I can't remember it. But it was a pretty good show. But anyway, yeah, Quark over there in his midget. So, so you live with a bitch that wears clothes that appeal to you and try and devalue me because I don't find anything appealing in any of it. But you can take my information and pretend you're cool with it. How does that work? How about that? Yeah, whatever. It's not going to go unsaid, unnoticed. I won't be silenced. And I will make sure a lot of people realize. Go look at that video last night, his live stream. It's within the first half hour. And finally, I wrote, I've been here 7 years and nobody's ever said hi to me. I'm like, go figure or whatever. I'm out of here. You know, it's just weird. It's very weird. Because he doesn't want people to know where he gets some of his information. That's why, and that's the truth. And you can see it reflected in his videos. Like even last week, I was chewing them out like the week before, but you can still see what I was saying to him and about him reflected in his videos. And maybe you already know that, but it's the truth. Well, and like I say, typically there wouldn't be anything wrong with that. Be like if somebody made a video, and I've done that plenty of times, but I don't put their information out like my information. I'll say, this is where I heard this, or this is how I feel about this. I heard that there. Or I'll just put a link to their video because that's where I got my information, you know? So, yeah. What, you know what that's called? That's called moral. That's called values. That's called um, giving credit where credit's due, you know? I have an itchy nose, excuse me, allergies. So, yeah. I guess I shouldn't feel too bad I don't fit in with the big city clown show like that. So, and I guess could be worse. I could actually start dressing like that and acting like that. Like I do have something shoved up my ass, but I don't. So I guess I'll just need to Be content, but I'm not content with people stealing my information and claiming it as theirs. No, I'm not. Do you actually played a role in saving people's lives? Wouldn't you want anybody to know? Yeah, of course you would. That's not self-righteous. That's just me wanting to connect with other human beings. You know, that's a real thing. We're social people, and people are social animals. This is a need that we have within ourselves to feel a connection with other human beings. Maybe not entirely or every day but I mean occasionally. And like I say, there's a few out there that are not, just aren't low vibe like that, that they wouldn't treat people like that if they saw somebody on their live stream for years. They would say something to them. I try to say hi to everybody. If you reach out to me, I'm definitely going to say something to you, or at least give your comment a heart or whatever, you know. And I rarely watch somebody's video without giving them a thumbs up. I honor them like that. It's like if I'm going to take the time to listen to somebody, I might not agree with everything they're saying, but I'm going to honor their channel for the algorithms to help them out. But I really do feel like people shouldn't be able to even make one dime off of anything that I've put out there, and I get no rewards for it. I mean, I know I'll get rewards in heaven, I do believe that. And I'm blessed with a lot of things in my life, you know, in a lot of different ways. Regardless of the hard times, I still have plenty of blessings, like granddaughters and step grandsons, and the hope that my sons will be okay. I did share in my community 3 years ago. My son was on his medication um, for schizophrenia, and he had written how he felt about me when he wasn't angry with me. But yeah, but if he's off it and stuff like he was when he was here, you can't really talk to people when they're not stable. It's hard, you know. But then some of you that work in mental health community, that field, you know what I mean. You can talk to them, but did you reach them? you know, that's another thing. So, but the bottom line of what my son said is the biggest thing I taught him was the word morality. Well, that says a lot for my character and what my son gathered from my raising him. So yeah, you can't pretend that. You can put on a good show, but you'll be exposed for the scum that you carry within yourself, whether people know it or not. And when I get done with you, they're gonna know it. Slowly but surely, I will chisel away at the structure of the dark cabal and leave it exposed for the vultures, as well it should be. And I hope you feel the same way in your endeavors in life. Just expose it, you know. Don't play games with it. Don't bargain with the devil. It's like, there it is. This is not conducive to, it's not productive for the human condition as a whole for people to get away with sadism and not have it addressed, because not caring about other people's health. Okay, don't care about me, you little Quark bitch. That's fine. You know, you and your ugly pugly with her gobs of makeup and her stupid suits. Enjoy each other, but don't put me down along the way because I don't want to be you. I'm not pretending to be you. I don't steal your information and pretend it's mine or your medical research. No, I don't. And normal people do work together. In fact, I know there's people that have what would be considered abnormalities that can work better as a team than some of this trashy shit in suits that I've seen. So, and if you wear a suit, don't take offense. We call you zoots. A zoot suit is something that you put on to cover your whole body before you go into like a paint room or a hazardous waste. If you're handling hazardous waste, you put on a zoot suit, and it's got the fresh air system and the whole thing in there. So, yeah. In other words, that's what we need to even look at you, let alone socialize. So don't have any fears that I'll be coming over for some of your crumb cake, you know. No worries there. Oh, and for the medical professionals out there, also with Morgellons, I found that the Morgellon bug that I do have, they called it, the CDC called, they took plugs out of my skin and my head, and one out of my thigh, one by my knee, and they called it a unknown fluke. Well, this is something that I know that the Masons gave to me and my son trying to kill me about 20 years ago, or maybe more, maybe 25 years ago. Okay, anyway, back to the fact. It can be killed in water. So if a person were able to, and it is possible with technology to do a complete exchange of a human blood system, but how and what type of technology or pill could be created through chemistry that would induce the same type of thing within human beings, because the Morgellon bug dies in pure water. I tried to suspend them in water. I tried water as a catalyst. They don't die in alcohol. They don't die in peroxide, bleach. I tried all kinds of emollients and solutions and all kinds of stuff. And the only thing that stopped it dead was pure water. And especially cold water. They just like started just dissolving, and they're a component of their um, three different main bugs that are combined with three different things each, with the combination of 9 making their gestation periods so kittywampus to get a handle on the whole thing would be almost impossible. But I did do it, and I was able to name each one and give you their gestation periods, which was typically 28 to 31 days for any of you microbiology scientists out there. So that was my findings on that. Yeah, go ahead, steal it. My research is out there. It's mine. It's okay. But still, I don't know your typical average human being that's going to start studying microbiology to help the whole world. Not like that. Not unless they can make money off it. They didn't do it out of the kindness of their hearts. No, they didn't. And I could have went about it a whole different way, but I didn't. I chose. Yeah, by in giving it away, I thought, gee, well, somebody's going to say, hey, that's freaking incredible. And I could say, yes, isn't it? I'm guided by the Spirit of God, you know? But a scientist is not going to say them last words either. You'll never hear that. Not that I've ever heard, you know? So, anyway, yeah, here I am thinking particle physics and have somebody try and demean me because I'm too weird. It's okay. Yes, physics is no big deal. Nobody cares. So just shut up, Barb. Nobody wants to hear you. You're stupid. You stupid old lady. Yeah, I know. But since you're here and you do want to hear me, I hope I am very entertaining to you, and I hope you do learn something, especially with the baking soda. Just even a teaspoon a day, but a tablespoon would be better in a little bit of water, and then even plenty of water to wash that down, especially if you've had something sweet to eat. Like last night, I had that ice cream, so before I went to bed, I had some baking soda and water, and that kills the sugar that any kind of bad bacterium's going to live on, and that's a fact. It works. So, and yes, that's my research. So anyway, hey, excuse me a minute. My pants are crawling up my leg. Give me a second. Nothing too bad here, guys. Just a sec. People, folks. Oh, yeah. All right. Wow. Can you imagine if you could be in your own home making videos wearing cotton scrubs and a cotton t-shirt on a 90-degree day? How stupid would I be to put a suit on and gobs of makeup and bleach out my hair and pretend I'm somebody I'm not, and then have the fucking audacity to put down somebody that actually is a decent human being? More than decent, actually. Yeah, there are two types of people in this world. Only two. There's evil and ones that aren't. There's even narcissists that aren't as evil as, like, say, a sadist, even though all narcissists have that sadism in there. But the covert narcissists, like Lionel Nation, you can, um, that would enjoy somebody else's pain, that's a sick individual right there. So, and he'll hear this. Yes, he will. I'll guarantee you that. He'll try not to make whatever I've said today reflect in anything he's said immediately, but just watch for it in the future. You'll recognize it if you watch him at all. You'll see what I mean. As a matter of fact, like I say, you could go back 2 weeks ago and see what I was saying and then see what he's saying the next day. Yeah. Who's leading who in the zoo. And besides that, I don't take advice from mental, um, what would the word be? I was going to say something a little more horrible than I want to say. Um, somebody that's mentally handicapped. So, and no, he's not that big of a channel where he's like some superstar or something like not even close, you know. So it's not out of these people that I'm nailing to the cross need to be nailed there, you know. You've seen me praise people, if you know, and it might be the weirdest person in the world to other people might think, well, this person has no value. Yeah, well, says who? Maybe I know somebody with God in their heart that has more value than you'll ever have. And what he says might not mean a whole lot to you. He could just be talking on his way home about what's going on in his life and have more value in his heart than you'll ever carry. You know what I mean, folks, you know? And I know I watched a female so-called comedian like mocking me and my um, talking about the manner of dress for people on this planet and what people do when they're Christian minded and what they don't do, that type of thing. Totally trying to trash me and run me down. Well, fuck you, you stupid. Yeah. Have fun acting like a twat. And a few other people I know that aren't making videos right now because they watch porn and I rode their ass about it and they aren't recovering so quickly. Well, you have decisions to make who you are on the inside because you can't pretend that you're of God and be somebody else behind the scenes. You have to be who you say you are, you know? And there's no pretending because it's going to come out into the open. So these are the people that are attacking me. The ones that don't have a family structure and true moral values but are pretending that they do, you know? And they won't put my name on their video. I mean, they're not going to out and out attack me and bring attention to my channel. Oh, no. Uh-uh. They'll just take what I say and play off of it and pretend like they came up with something brilliant when they didn't come up with any brilliance at all because they're not late. You know, have you ever been threatened? Have you ever had your life threatened because you wouldn't be a slut? I've gotten beat up because I'm not a slut like that. I could tell you the names of people that treated me like that, but you know, I guess that doesn't really matter. I'm just telling you the truth of the situation, what my life has been like, you know. try that. You know? Sure, I don't have to say anything, but I'm me. That's what I do. Um, Is there any of my friends, subscribers here that have heard my words out of other people and they'll never mention my name? Yeah. Or how about somebody that wants to talk about microbiology or particle physics or anything like that, but don't care how knowledgeable they are on that and won't even ask a professional for help? No, won't even. But they'll just keep going forward with their bullshit, you know? It's like, yes, God just told me this, so this is what I'm going to tell you. But there's no science behind it, and they can't prove, they can't explain, not even with an educated guess of what it actually is. They can't explain shit, but they want to tell you all about it. I'm just waiting for Derek Bros, that used to be Global Witness, that is now called Willing Witness. What are you willing to witness about? Truth? Are you willing to witness that I warned you about 10 years ago to stop lying, that your life was going to fall apart if you didn't? Now I'm telling Jordan Peterson and Lionel Nation the same thing. Go examine what happened to Derek Bros and have fun being a stupid ass. It's real. You can go from being the somebody you think you are into an absolute nobody, a nobody like me, in a heartbeat, just with some well placed thoughts that are already in motion because you're stupid and sadistic and narcissistic and too little to fuck with me, but keep it up. Yeah, whatever. I had to throw that last one in because when he was pounding his fist like basically, and you will call a man a woman. No, I fucking won't. You know? Sorry. Oh, okay. I think I got it all out of me. Hope you feel better. You feel better? I do. Yeah, that was a release. A man pounding his hand at a woman because she will not call a man a woman. That was rich. I thought he was going to change that by the way he was talking, and that's why I got on his live stream. I thought, okay, so he realizes now, so I can give him a chance to speak, and I'll hear what he's got to say. But when I got there, it was just more of the trying to demean me by way of elevating himself, by usurping my brilliance. Uh, Whatever. I'm going to prove you to be the scum you are. I will. Watch this. There's a certain amount of stupid people that follow him, and they probably always will. There's about 1,000 people that are his little butt buddies there, because he is an ass. when they wouldn't take medical advice that you don't have to cram something up you to check for cancer, that there's new technology, wouldn't somebody say, thank you for telling us that, or acknowledge it somehow, like, that's cool? I think somebody did. I think after I wrote that, there was one person that put something, but the majority of them were just brain dead. It's like, and Lionel has this saying that the American people have the attention span of a gnat. What? Oh, right. Like your mommy did for you, right, Lionel? So anyway, or your wife. Hey, if we're gonna cut throats here, we're just gonna do it good. And I used to be a butcher, so yeah, I got some good knives, some great knife skills. So we'll just do this bitch up good. We're gonna slice throats, and we'll see who's more skilled. Got a little carried away with that punch in my hand because, like, if it had been real, I wasn't gonna stop there for a second. I was like, okay, whatever. That was only one hand. I wouldn't even use my hands to tell you the truth. Just go up and go, all she wrote. For real. Nothing I hate worse than a stupid man bullying and pretending he's not, you know? That's just something you're not going to get away with. And I did give him a chance to clear all that up, too. Even without saying hello to me on his stupid screen, you know, because most of it's just what's going on in the political arena and with the media. Yeah, we have no clue what's going on. Thank you for informing us. You know, bragging that he's a constitutional lawyer that really won't tell you the truth about the 13th Amendment, that there is no attorney that is even supposed to be in our House of Representatives at all. It's against the law because he's been unlawful. He was in the worked for the Supreme Court, so he knows that that's not allowed. Yeah, because he knows the Constitution. That's why. So he already knows that he's a scumbucket liar, and so do I. It's called the 13th Amendment. Go check out that wording. Yeah. Anyway. And yes, I had to read the whole thing and all the sub-statutes in my state concerning any legalities to become a licensed contractor. So I know exactly what I'm talking about. I studied it too, just for other reasons. Ended up having to take somebody to claims court to get paid on a job for a housing developer that didn't want to pay people. So I've been through that. But yeah, like I said, it will take me longer. Just like with Jordan Peterson, um, I might not get the recognition that we need to get out with this porn shit in marriages with that on YouTube. But it's taken off and on fire. over on Facebook. That's one thing. And I mean, the people are just, they're calling them worse names than I did. So, yeah, okay. So, what I guess what I'm saying is I can see the progress, even if it's not so apparent, it actually is in motion. So really, only stupid people are going to be following these imbeciles anyway, you know. And I'll just keep watching what they're doing and reporting on it. Just excuse me a minute. I'll stick with you a minute more, but I'm going to get some chapstick. Just one moment. I'm here. Okay. All right. Yeah, better. Now my cigarette won't stick to my lip. So yeah, I have plenty of barbecue left for tonight, so I don't have to make anything, and that's nice. I like that, you know. Yeah, and it's so good, you know. I looked out today. Those cats are really good at well, they keep all the mice and shrews and rodents away from the house, and they're good at catching birds. Unfortunately, somebody was having a nice snack out there. It looked like a pretty big bird, too, and it was a small cat, but that's why I worm them, you know, and take care of them anyway, because, and it's harder to get food in the winter for them. Really hard. I started taking care of cats, or always wanted to, because when I first moved up here, Doug had this little white shed, and there was a shelf in the corner, and I had one out there one day in the winter. I don't know if it was to get a snow shovel or what it was, but there was this pretty black and white kitty. She was up on that shelf and she had frozen to death. And I swore if I could ever help any of them to never have to see something like that again, that's what I would do. So when I was able to, I just started taking care of them, you know. I was mortified. Doug cremated it for me though, so because you can't bury anything in the winter here, you know. Have to build a fire and dispose of it. I could have put it in their trash. That would have been horrible. So, really, if I ever ignore a decent human being, would you just kill me? Honestly. But then on the other hand, I do have somebody that was sending around even cartoons of naked people, and I finally, after a while, just blocked her. And she came on here about a week ago. Every once in a while, she'll come and just kind of get her narcissistic supply, I guess, saying that she missed me. And I gave it a heart. I know you do. When you take advantage of people that give you their whole heart, That's not a very nice thing, and you should miss them. you know. And it wasn't just the cartoon pornography, it was lies and all kinds of weird stuff, you know, trying to bait me into shit and all kinds of private messaging and games, and it's like, oh, okay, whatever, you know. Yeah, but I'm not into trying to invalidate somebody or make their hearts feel sad ever. Not ever. On the other hand, if you're the type of person that are doing things in your life that do harm other people, I'm going to more than invalidate you. I'm going to punch your fucking ticket. Excuse me, folks. I'll put a stop to it one way or another. I'll make these narcissists that don't care, and there are ones that slightly do, but the covert ones that pretend they aren't and pretend other people are, yeah, right. I'd rather have an out and out narcissist say, I think I'm better than you, and I could say back, well, I'm sure you do think that, you know, then somebody pretend that they love the whole world and then would act sadistic, you know, stealing people's brilliance for your own is nothing to be proud of, you know. I wouldn't claim it. No, would not. Why would I want to? I like being me, you know. And it what see, okay, and I'm not gonna get a fat head here, but I'm gonna say it like it is. You know, if you're living with fucking stuffy and boring, I could see where I would be a breath of fresh air in that whole thing. Yeah, well, just stick to stuffy and boring. That's your style. You know, your clothes aren't going to help. I don't think anything can at this point. You know, and no, we're not two sides of the same coin. You know, this isn't even the uh, what's the word? How could I put this? Um, it's the difference between currency and non-currency. You know, as in I have value and you don't. That's what I just said. Yeah, okay. Not you. I'm talking about Lionel Nation. Well, really, if you're not going to take value in new medical health advice that could save people from actually getting cancer from having that colonoscopy put in you, that can break open the polyps, even with cancer operations, if they break that cancer, it creates more cancer in your body the minute that's ruptured. This is a fact. It's more dangerous to have an operation that's invasive than it is to try and treat it with chemo or natural ways. But to be able to just do a stool sample versus that whole rigmarole, and you don't take any value in that to tell your listeners, he wouldn't even had to say my name. He could have said, "Oh, I see there's a kit for this. I'll have to ask my physician." That would have been kind of a loving thing to do for his audience, but he didn't do it. So that's what we call a sad sap, or a sack of something. Sap as in S-A-P. Yeah. Too gooey for me. That's some black goo named Quark. Yeah. So actually what I'm saying is that if you're going to do a disservice to people and you're not qualified, I'm going to make sure that you are not able to persuade people in any way and make money off it in any way, and your struggles will be far more than mine, no matter what you think, because of the way you go about things in life. And you think you're doing it right. See, this is what gets me. These men in particular know that I have God in my heart, and they know it for a fact. And I give them my smoking, I give them my swearing, and that's all they got, you know? Which I wouldn't do around children. Now, without the parents, if the parents were smoking or there's smoking around them, yeah, whatever. Not cussing, even if the parents did around kids. No, when my kids got older, I swore at them, but not when they were little, you know? It's a fact. I still remember the look on my oldest son's face when I used foul language with him, and he had used it first. Both my sons did, actually, in their teenage years. So, even to this day, they don't call me names like that, you know, or swear at me, whatever, you know. Sometimes all it takes is once, and then we learn our lessons, you know, sometimes. Well, I'm going to name this something that'll make my point, you know. I wonder what kind of bullshit Jordan Peterson came up to try and something spiritual. He had like a 7-minute video on, like when we're guided by the spirit. Yeah, we know what spirit you're guided by, buddy. It's pretty obvious. The one that would have you mislead other people, or the one that would put other people in danger and not acknowledge what's true and right and sound. Yeah, that's spirit. Yeah, we know that one real good. Well, everybody, I do appreciate you being here. I got a couple new people. Thank you so much, for real. it's nice to know that I can make a connection with a few people out here that really get what I'm saying from my heart and know the love that I do have in my heart for everybody, even if I'm angry with them. It's just, but somebody's got to say, when somebody's reaching too many people with things that can annihilate them, it has to be stopped. Somebody's got to say something. So I guess I'm that somebody in that way, like that. You'll see. I'll tell you when I see an impact, and it's going to be a while because these people are not deep state, they're deep shit. Then they're in deep shit. So anyway, have a really good night or day wherever you're at. Thanks again. Peace and love from Pine City, Minnesota, USA.